Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikakadash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Now, when you look back at the slavery days and what was going on once the slaves of the Atlantic slave trade made it here to America, it's not hard to understand why they was trying to get away, because it was hellish conditions. They was trying to run away from being in a cotton field from sun up to sundown, being discriminated on, raped, robbed for the free labor, being mistreated, being lied to, being humiliated, just so many things that they was going through on the plantations that a person would want to run away. But they didn't understand why they was on the plantation. See, they would have had to have a good understanding of why they was on the plantation to not have this strong urge to run away, and understand if they ran away, what would have been some of the consequences of them running away. But I'm going to get into the scriptures to break it down. Now, let's see here. Let's go into Luke 21:24. It says, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled." So you couldn't run away from this if you was Jerusalem. If you was led away captives into all nations, you couldn't run away or get away from being trodden down until a specific time. Before that time, you was going to be trodden down. Before that time, you was going to be led away captive. Okay, so I want to get that out the New Testament first. Or the Lord wanted to bring it out first. Now when you go into, let's get some more out the New Testament. So-called New Testament. Okay, 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. So the redemption of the Israelites, the revenge of the Israelites, see, it had to be after the falling away. after the Israelites lost their identity, after they was kicked out of the homeland to go into slavery into all nations. Though that combination had to happen first. See, that was the first thing that had to happen. Now, you're going into the curses. Deuteronomy 28:15, and say, but it shall come to pass, if you will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Verse 16, cursed shall you be in the city. See, you couldn't run away from that curse until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Cursed shall you be in the field. See, you couldn't run away from that curse. Being in the cotton field, being in the tobacco field, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. As in Jerusalem, as an Israelite. Verse 17, here go one of the big ones. Cursed shall be your basket and your store. See, if you trying to store up something, to use it, to sell it, that's a business. To do anything, it's going to be cursed. The Most High is going to bring pain to you. Look at what he said in verse 19. Cursed shall you be when you cometh in, and cursed shall you be when you go out. You come in the world, and when you go out the world, if it's before the time of the Gentile times is up, that's what you're going to be. Verse 20 say, the Lord shall send upon you cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that you set your heart unto for to do, until you be destroyed, and until you perish quickly, because of the wickedness of your doings, whereby you have forsaken me. See, the Lord was angry with these people that was cursed, with these people that was in slavery, and that went into slavery in all nations, with the Israelites. This is why they was in slavery. This is why they was in the cotton field from sun up to sundown. This is why they couldn't start them a storehouse or a business. See, because the Lord was angry with them. And they was going to go through this situation until the time of the Gentiles were fulfilled. Now, Revelation 11 goes into this a little bit. It says in verse 2, but the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. So the Gentiles, they are the court which is without the temple. They don't have no temple. They ain't the Israelites. They the Gentiles. It said, and the holy city shall be trodden under the foot 42 months. So the Israelites was that holy city. The Israelites was the ones that was going to be cursed for a specific time. And until that time was up, they was going to have to deal with those curses. Oh, let me go back. Okay. Revelations 11:11. it says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So these Israelites was gonna be on that plantation 3 days and a half. See, they had a time that they was gonna have to be on the plantation. And then they was gonna wake up and understand who they were, meaning they was gonna come alive because they didn't know who they were. They was on the plantation. Let's get that in Jeremiah. Verse 4, it says, and you even yourself shall discontinue from your heritage that I gave you. So they gonna lose their identity. They wasn't gonna know that they was Israelites. And I will cause you to serve your enemies in the land which you knoweth not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So these Israelites didn't understand that they was on the plantation and working sun up to sundown, can't get a business under the so-called white man because they was cursed as a nation, and the Lord was not gonna let them just get away. Now let's see here. Let's get Daniel 9 and 11. It says, yeah, all Israel have transgressed the law, even by the pardon, that they might not obey your voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. See, that transatlantic slave trade is the greatest evil known to man. That is the greatest evil known to man. See, for under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. See, Jerusalem was going to be trodden under the foot by the Gentiles. They was going to go into slavery. They had to get them curses put on them until the time of the Gentiles. They had to be trodden under the foot for 42 months. They was going to wake up after 3 days and a half, meaning 360 some years or 350 years. Then they was going to start waking up. Okay? But look at Ezekiel 35 and 5. It says, because you have had a perpetual hatred, talking about the so-called white man, Mount Seir, the nation of Edom, and should have shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So they was going to wake up, and the so-called white man was still going to be shedding the blood of the Israelites. And their time had came to an end because they was starting to wake up. The 350 years had passed, and they was done woke up. They done stood upon their feet. But while they standing on their feet, the so-called white man is still shedding the blood. Now look at Amos chapter 1 verse 11. It says, thus says the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, that's the so-called white man, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, he kept his wrath forever. See, the elites hearing and seeing that the Israelites is standing upon their feet, and they still got that anger and that wrath blazing against them and putting them to death, shedding the blood of the children of Israel. Okay, let's see here. Now, Lamentations talks about it. Lamentation 4 and 22, it say, the punishment of your iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, meaning it's going to come to an end. It's going to be accomplished. He will no more carry you away into captivity. He will visit your iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover your sin. So while the Edomites is ruling over the Israelites, their iniquity going to come to an end. Now let's get back to these curses real quick to bring out the point that you can't run away. Look at why you ain't going to be able to run away. Okay, let's go ahead and get 44. It say, he shall lend to you, and you shall not lend to him. He shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. See, he gonna be the head until the time of the Gentiles is made fulfilled. Verse 46, it say, and they shall be upon you for a sign and a wonder, and upon your seed forever. So this sign, the curse is gonna be a sign to wake up the elect of the nation of Israel, who is going to stand upon their feet in these last days. You see, and even some non-elect is going to stand upon their feet and fall off back to the wayside. But this is going to be a sign. So that sign is never going to go down where the Israelites can run away from their curses and run away from slavery and get away from their slave master. Verse 48, it say, therefore shall you serve your enemies, which the Lord shall send against you, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So you can't run away, because this man got all things in his hand. The Gentile is in control of all things. The Israelites is in control of nothing. See, only thing they control is the truth. See, outside of the truth, these Gentiles is in control of everything. That's why you got 2nd Ezra 69. It say, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Esau ruled the whole world. See, he not just ruling America. He's ruling the whole world. He got embassies and military bases all over the world. See, he done colonized the whole freaking world. Now, when you go into the Israelites not running away, you can't run away from the curses. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me go ahead and get Zechariah. He said, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, says the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, and the third shall be left therein. See, those 2 parts is talking about those Israelites that's trying to run away. See, that's why it's going to be 2 parts. It's 2 parts because 2/3 of the Israelites is going to try to run away and get away from the curses. See, they're going to join the so-called white man in his wickedness, in his pursuit to rule and keep his kingdom going. When you go into Lamentation 4:17, I think. Yep, it says, and as for us, our eyes are as yet felt for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us. See, they looking for the so-called white man and his nation to save them. They running away. Oh, let's go ahead and get it. Isaiah 30. Look at what it's saying, verse 2. It say, that walk to go down into Egypt. See, they running away from the curses and the blessings. See, because once you run away from the curses, you pretty much going into Egypt, and you ain't gonna be able to get the blessing by trusting in some freaking Egypt. It says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. See, they running away from the curses, trying to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, the so-called white man, who is the new Pharaoh, according to Romans 9 and 17, I'm thinking. See, he the new Pharaoh because Egypt is America is the shadow of Egypt, is the spiritual Egypt, according to Revelation 11 and 8. And so they running away, going back into Egypt, trying to strengthen themselves, because when them slaves went to run, let's get to the picture, because I want to get into that a little bit. Look at this picture at the bottom. That's the movie Underground. And the whole movie of Underground is talking about running away, digging a hole under somebody's house, one of these Edomites' house, and you trying to run away. You're not gonna get away, man. You in the cotton field and y'all conspiring to run away. Hey man, we got this plan, we gonna make it to the river, we gonna go this way. But you ain't understanding that you're an Israelite and these Edomites is the so-called white man, and you can't get away. He got everything under his control. He done colonized the world. Back in 17 to 1800, these dragons had done colonized the world. They over there in Japan and China, the British, they done colonized the whole freaking world. They got the East Indian colonized. They got the Arabs colonized. They got everybody colonized. Because also back in the 15 and 1600, they was getting rich. So they going around colonizing everybody. They going around taking over. They got ships. They got ways to travel. And they making free labor for hundreds of years from these darn Israelites that's in bondage. By the time you get to the 1800s, where you have all these slave revolts and these Israelites trying to run away, the so-called white men, the Edomites, had done solid, they had the foundation of their rulership. And they had done colonized the world, man. You can run to Canada and they can give you a paper to say you free, but you ain't free. You still in the kingdom of ESAU. You still under the Gentiles being trodden down. They gonna beat you down because you is under the anger of the Lord. See, he sent the nation of Edom through his anger. He sent the nation of Edom, the most wickedest nation. Let me end it on that verse. See, he sent these people to kick your behind. 49. It said, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, and from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue you should not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. See, that's why I got the little boy on them, because see, they ain't showing no favor because this a little boy, and they ain't gonna put him in the cotton field. You going in that cotton field with the rest of them. See, you ain't finna get away and think you a little boy, so you an Israelite, but you a little boy. So you ain't got to go in the cotton field. You just got to serve once you get a little older. You going in there. Cause this what the white man gonna do. All your nigger babies, all of you, get out there and pick my cotton. The old people, if you can walk, if you ain't falling on your head, you got one leg, he gonna probably put a stump on that and put you behind that cotton field. He might put you out there while you laying down and you put you in a freaking push cart where you can pick the darn cotton while you in somebody pushing your behind to the next area. See, he got a fierce continent and he ain't gonna show no favor to nobody, young or old. See, this is the nature of the nation of Edom, and he sent these people because you wants to be wicked. For the wickedness of your doings, he gonna send the so-called white man to kick your behind, and you ain't no way you can run from these people. They done colonized the world. Say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, so they can trodden down under the foot Jerusalem. See, Yahweh Shah told them that. And so there's no place to run. You ain't finna get rich and ain't got to deal with the so-called white man. Oprah, walking in the store, you still a Negro. You one of them darn Israelites. What you doing in our store? You trying to steal. Because we know niggas and you ain't. We don't know you got no money. Cause really, you niggas don't got no money. You just over here acting and playing game with this fiat currency. See, they done gave you some fiat currency, and you stupid enough to come in our store and spend it on a freaking purse. And any other Jay-Z and the rest of them who got a bunch of money, they thinking they gonna run away from the curses and ain't gonna be treated like a nigga by the Edomites. Then when you go into what the Edomites is finna bring for the final temptation, this new yoke of iron that they're gonna try to put not around the neck of the Israelite, they're gonna try to put it in your hand or in your head. See, and this way you can't run. See, you ain't gonna be able to run away from it then. That's you couldn't run in the first place, but you definitely ain't gonna be able to run from that. You gonna have to take your punishment by not taking it. See, because they gonna come and force you to make a decision, and you can decide not to take it, and you can decide to take it. But those that consent to it, they gonna be same thing. Let me go ahead and get that one verse because that's what it's gonna boil down to. And it's everything is a parallel and a allegoric parallel to what happened in the past to what's gonna happen in the future. Okay, 2nd Ezra 16 and 69. It say, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under the foot. See, that new yoke of iron is going to have the same result. That even in the last temptation, the dragon is going to trodden you underfoot if you consent to him. See, the only way you don't get trodden underfoot is that you reject their yoke of iron that they trying to put on you with that Revelation 6, the black horse. When they try to enslave the world through their money system, if you consent to it by letting them put this device in your behind, that's when you is going to be trodden underfoot, just like the whole nation of Israel was trodden underfoot by these Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles is up. So it's all, man, the parallel is too perfect. And so that's the time we living in. We living in the time where we at the end of the punishment of the Israelites, and where they about to present this new yoke of iron. You see, and if they go consent to these people and try to run away, see, that's another form of running away. See, they gonna try to run away to the so-called white man and consent to his sea hip, his grain of rice, his what you call it, his MO to the T to the B, and they gonna try to run away from the curses and the punishment of the Lord. See, in the test of the Lord, because the curses is also a test, and you ain't gonna be able to run away. And the so-called white man ain't gonna be able to save you. That was Lamentations 4:17. We looking for a nation that cannot save us. See, he can't give you that chip and save your life from what the Lord got for your behind. See, you gonna have to deal with it. Whatever the Lord is bringing, you got to deal with it. And you ain't gonna be able to run to the so-called white man for help. But I'm gonna leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth, peace to the elect worldwide, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves scattered around the globe on slave ships and through many captivities. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.